in catches, receiving yards, and touchdowns. And Cowboys quarterback Andy Dalton suffered a concussion in a 25-3 loss to Washington, exiting in the third quarter after taking a big hit from Washington linebacker John Bostic on a third down scramble. Now, Bostic was tossed from the game, but is not expected to receive a suspension, according to Adam Schefter.
Don't call it a comeback. Well, you can call it a comeback, but they've been here for many, many years. Russell Wilson and the Seahawks taking on Kyler Murray and the Cardinals in Sunday Night Football, second quarter. Russ, pass picked off by Budda Baker, and he's gone. Look at DK Metcalf. Look at him. Baker said after it was the first time he'd been hawked his entire life. Fantastic hustle from Metcalf. 6'4", 229, ran a 4.45 40 at his combine workouts. Pete Carroll's like, man, that was awesome. Fourth quarter, under 3 minutes to go. Arizona down 34-24. Murray, Christian Kirk, 8-yard TD. His second TD of the game. Murray threw for 360. 3 TDs, ran for a score. Arizona pulls to within 34-31. 17 seconds left. They're going to run the ball with Chase Edmonds. He gets 12 and a first down, and Larry Fitzgerald's going to pick up the ball and help the referee spot it because they don't have any timeouts. So we got to get this thing going. They hurry up and they spike it. Murray does with 2 seconds remaining. So Zane Gonzalez coming out to try the game-tying field goal. 44 yards, and that ain't nothing but good. We're going to overtime, tied at 34. In OT, Arizona has the ball after stopping Seattle. Kingsbury decides Gonzalez, do it again. 41-yarder. And hey, we love it. Made the kick, but the play clock ran out. And the Cardinals forced to call timeout. And Kingsbury is like, I just iced my own kicker. That's not good. Second try, now to win the game. And see, that's what happens.
Oh, man.
Wide left.
Rough.
Seattle takes over in great field goal position.
Oh, look at Cliff. He's like, no, I can't see.
And Russ is like, yeah, I can. 3rd and 10 from the zone of 48. Russ to Metcalf, and he's fast, so he sprints up the sideline, and he's going. He is gone into the end zone. Game over. Seahawks win. But wait. David Moore called for holding.
Oh.
We are coming back. Moore going to get a hold of Patrick Peterson. That allows Metcalf to get to the edge. The touchdown doesn't count.
Interesting call.
Yeah. Next play, 3rd and 14. Wilson intercepted by rookie Isaiah Simmons. 3rd pick of the day. 2nd time Russ has ever thrown multiple INTs in the 4th quarter or overtime, so Arizona takes over. They bring on Gonzalez again for the 48-yarder. Cliff Kingsbury does not call timeout. And he makes a 48-yarder and the game is over. Cardinals win 37-34 in OT, handing Seattle its first loss of the season. Hannah.
Jay, the last 2 undefeated teams in the AFC played that game, which had been delayed, of course, because of COVID issues. So it was the Titans at the Steelers. First drive by the Steelers. Roethlisberger to Deontay Johnson for the touchdown. Steelers cap off a 16-play drive. It lasted over 9 minutes, exactly what they wanted to do. That was the trend throughout the first half. They controlled the ball for 19 minutes and 56 seconds, keeping that Titans offense on the sideline for most of the half. So on we go to the 4th. Titans are trailing by 10. First and goal at Derrick Henry. Doing Derrick Henry things. Jumping over the top for the touchdown. It's a 3-point game. 2:40 left. Steelers 3rd and 12.
Oh, what are you doing? That's what I said yesterday.
Roethlisberger picked off by Amani Hooker. And now the Titans, a 3rd and 12 near midfield. And Tannehill connects with A.J. Brown. What a huge first down. And now they're in field goal range. And Steven Gostkowski, who is 5 for 5 for over 50 yards. This is a 46-yarder. It's money, right?
Yeah, but you never know what you're going to get with Gostkowski.
Okay, because guess what? All 5 of his misses this season under 50 yards. Look at that. He can't believe it. He's ready for overtime. He missed it. Steelers win 27-24. Wow. There were a lot of close games yesterday, and for more, we welcome in our NFL analyst, Marcus Spears. So let's start there. Okay, this was just the 5th time the undefeated teams had met in Week 7 or later, and the winner of the previous 4 have all gone to the Super Bowl. So I want to know from you, do you see Pittsburgh? We got Kansas City out there. Do you see Pittsburgh as a Super Bowl team?
Absolutely, Hannah. And I love hearing you and Jay go through these highlights. It's so fun. Listen, this team obviously was a good football team last year, devoid of Ben Roethlisberger being the quarterback. But when you look at it in totality, they have some great players, Hannah. Not good players, great players. TJ Watt is a great player. He's ascending to being one of the most dominant players, not only in the NFL, but when you look at his numbers, he has a historical path going. They can take Bud Dupree and put him in the middle of the defense. They can put Bud Dupree on the outside and create things in that regard. And then Big Ben, finding his weapons. You talked about Johnson. Claypool was limited. He found Juju quite a bit. So when we get to this point in the season and we start having conversations, who looks like Super Bowl contenders, who looks like a team that can win it? Pittsburgh can do it defensively. They have a quarterback with a steady hand that can put points on the board and find other ways to beat you outside of who you think the primary weapon should be. And then Mike Tomlin and that coaching staff on the sideline. So yes, they are absolutely one of those teams that I think will be there at the end with an opportunity to go to a Super Bowl.
All right, let's get to our breaking news of the day, Marcus. Browns at 5-2, right behind Baltimore in that division. But the breaking news is that their star receiver, Odell Beckham Jr., is out for the season with a torn ACL. Bro, how big of a blow is that for Cleveland's offense?
It's a huge blow. When you talk about a dynamic playmaker, and I know everybody's going to come on here with numbers, Jay, and talk about how good Baker Mayfield is as opposed to having OBJ on the field and what his numbers are. But let me tell you this. Before this game, and we were having a conversation about the old OBJ being back. They were getting him the ball on reverses. He closed out the Dallas Cowboy game. He was catching those slants and taking them to the crib, making plays down the field. So it's a huge blow when you lose a playmaker. Tampa just tried to add one, by the way, in Antonio. Didn't try. They added one in Antonio Brown. When you have guys that are game breakers, they make a difference. And yes, it may not show up with 130, 150-yard performance, 2 touchdowns every single week, every game, in and out. But when you get down the road, Jay, and when you start trying to win these games that Cleveland has not shown that they can win up until this point, talking about Pittsburgh and Baltimore, their performances in those, you need to have guys where you could say, let's get the ball in his hands and see if he can make some magic happen. They won't have that without OBJ. So, yes, this is a huge loss when it comes to Cleveland and what they're trying to do for the rest of the season.
Right, that over-the-top threat. I mean, the defense always has to know where he is, so that helps everybody else on the field. All right, let's have some fun and talk about this division. This is just a part of your history, this division which has 7 wins total. The NFC East, your Cowboys losing 25-3 to Washington yesterday. Andy Dalton suffered a concussion after taking that big hit from John Bostic. Now, he was tossed from the game. He's not expected to be suspended, according to Adam Schefter. And then, Swegu, afterwards, head coach Mike McCarthy, he wasn't pleased with the passive reaction by his players to that hit. So I want to ask you this, because in this past week, we have had Cowboys players anonymously criticize their coaching staff. Now we have McCarthy calling out his team. What does that indicate to you?
That indicates from the top. And I'm talking about Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, Mike McCarthy, because Jerry and Stephen were responsible for hiring Mike McCarthy and Mike Nolan on the defensive side of the ball, the coaching staff, and it trickles down to players not making the right decisions as well. Hannah, look, Mike McCarthy calling out his team, for all intents and purposes, if you've been around the game of football long enough, you would have expected somebody to come to the defense of Andy Dalton in that particular situation. But you're playing with guys on the offensive line without a lot of playing experience that went to see if Andy Dalton was okay as opposed to going fight Bostic. You talk about Amari Cooper or CeeDee Lamb or Micah Gallup. Anybody ever thought that these guys might not be built that way? And that is a message that resonates with this program and what's happening right now in Dallas? Yes. To the conventional ex-football players, to guys that's sitting up here on television, man, that's supposed to be a fight. Everybody knows that that's supposed to be a fight that's been in the NFL. But it's not in Dallas because you're playing with a bunch of guys out there right now that's trying to see their way clear enough to just get through a football game. Not win one, see their way clear to get through one. And that resonates, that is what is happening with the coaching staff as well. Hannah, when we start giving these players the demand and talking about what they should and shouldn't do, and Mike McCarthy calling them out. Everybody in this organization needs to be called out. Everybody's making bad decisions and not coming to the defense of their guys. When you think about the opportunities and the situations that Dallas has been put in, Zeke Elliott is not playing well at all. There's a plethora of things that could go down. But this was disheartening to see, not only as a former Cowboy, but a football player, when you see something like that happening and transpiring on the field of your teammate and no one comes to his aid. But I still keep in mind that these guys offensively outside of Andy Dalton, they just ain't built that way.
Yeah, problems across the board. Everyone certainly needs to get on the same page because there is opportunity still in the NFC East, the first division in history.